What's going on, guys? Welcome in here to year 6 of my Utah Pioneers franchise mode. Unfortunately, this has not been as successful as I thought it was going to be. The Arizona Coyotes / Utah Pioneers were a very loaded franchise. They had a lot of prospects like Gunther, like Logan Cooley. They didn't have a lot of defensive prospects. They had Dursey in the system there. They didn't have a lot of goaltending prospects, but they definitely had a lot of prospects growing in the system, and we are finally seeing that growth start to come up here, and they're starting to finally develop. But this year, finally, we brought in a guy, and not to spoil it, but if you haven't watched last year, make sure you click the video above. I'll give you a second. Besides that, though, we brought in some big names here, okay? So after last year, we had another disappointing second round exit to the Colorado Avalanche. So in free agency, we lost out on Quinn Hughes, but we didn't end up picking up Trevor Zegras, and we picked up Zach Werenski again. We brought him back to the team for free in free agency here. So I feel like two great pickups for this team with an already great team that we had here. Reinhart said he didn't want to be here anymore. That's too bad. He was getting older. We needed to move on from him anyways. So we move on from him. We move on from a couple other defensemen that we had, and we're starting to have some true growth here. So without further ado, let's jump in here. I think this is our year. I think this is our season. Year 6. Here we go. Jumping in here with a quick look at the team. First line here is Yzerman, Zegras, and Keller. Doan, Cooley, Fedorov, Michelli, Lecker-Mackey, Gunther, McBain, Geeky, and Cooley. On defense here, we have Juracek, Duda, Werenski, Perek, Siliev, and Simishev. And in the pipes, Vinny and Olsen. I think this is going to be a great year for us. We have a lot of depth here. So I'm not really sure what to expect at the end of the day. I need more success than 0 cups in 6 years. Let's just say that. Quick look at the AHL lines. I'm not going to say them all out again, but we're just going to look here. We have Lutz, Jenkins, Lane. Defense here, Badinka is the big name that we still have growing there in the system. Goalies here, Thornton, and this high starter we picked up in Cavalo. Besides that, I think everything's ready. I think we're primed up and ready to go to get here into year 6. So let's go ahead and let's sim through that first month here and see how we're doing. Wow, that was a rough month 1. We are 3-4-1 here. We are sitting in the Central Division in 6th place. We have 7 points. We're only 3 points out of a playoff spot, technically. That was a rough month. Let's check out the point leaders here. Yzerman leading the team with 8 points, 8 games. Keller with 6, Zegras with 5, Doan with 4, Juracek with 3. The points really aren't there after the first month so far. And we have a lot of minuses here. Looking at the goalies, Vinny, horrible stats so far. 8.96, a 3.23 is definitely not good enough. Olsen there with good stats in the 1 game that he played. Vinny, not good enough, man. We just got rid of Spencer Knight because of the same results. I don't know why you're doing this to us. I'm going to give Olsen some starts here. Let's see what happens. Vinny, you're on a very short leash here. We're going to act like month 1 was just a fluke, and we're going to get through another month. So let's sim through here through November and see how we do. Average month there for the team. Not good, not bad. Look at the stats here. Yzerman had 16 and 20. Keller has 14, 13 for Michelli, 12 for Doan. Fedorov there has 12. Cooley has 10. Zegras has 10. Zegras is really underperforming here on that first line so far. He had 65 points in Anaheim last year. He's only got 10 so far with us, so kind of underperforming. Look at the goalies here, though. Olsen, his stats are looking awesome right now. I'm really hoping he'll continue with this. He's an 85 overall still right now. Vinny's an 85 still. Vinny's stats getting a little bit better. It's going to take a little while for his stats to get back to looking decent after the rough start that he had. Let's hope after a month or 2 here, his stats will look a little bit better, and we'll start looking like the playoff team that we are. Quick look at the AHL team here as well. Point leaders here is Jenkins, Lutz, Vatanen. Vatanen there is a young guy. Vrady, Lane, Monsko, and Badinka with 10 points in 18 games. He's a +2. Looking at the goalies there, Thornton with a 918 and a 242. Not bad stats for him as well. Let's go ahead and jump in here. Let's get through another month and let's see how the team is doing. Hopefully December will be a good month for us. We really need to have a good month here, and then hopefully our team will look again like the playoff team we're supposed to be. So like I said, we're going to sim through December here and we're going to see how we do. After December, we're finally sitting in a wild card spot. We have 35 points. We're sitting quite a few points out. It looks like all the teams in our division there, the Blackhawks, the Wild, the Avalanche, all have 48 points. They're all tied there. That's crazy. Looking at the point leaders, though, Josh Doan has 28 and 34. That's crazy that he's leading our team. Keller there with 26. Yzerman with 26. Fedorov there with 23, the rookie. Michelli with 22. 21 for Zegras. 20 for Cooley. Not great numbers here for our team. Gunther with 16. Really not great numbers. Goalies, though, a 937 and a 186 for Olsen. He's still killing it for us. Vinny there, his numbers are starting to get worse. I'm not really sure what to do with him. He's really got to start getting better for us, man. He's a medium elite goalie. He's an 85 overall. I don't know why his stats are so bad. Olsen here, he's an 85 overall high starter. Hopefully he'll be rocking it for us. I mean, maybe he might even turn into an elite goalie. You never know. So 937 and a 186, definitely some good stats for a goalie there. Let's hope he keeps doing his thing. Our team, though, got to do more. I'm going to change the lines around real quick and let's see what we can do. Looking at the edited lines here, I have Yzerman, Cooley, and Keller up on that first line now. Michelli, Zegras, and Doan on the second. Fedorov, Lecker-Mackey, and Gunther on the third. Cooley, Geeky, and McBain on the fourth. Defense, I left the Juracek and Duda line alone. Werenski, I gave him a new partner in Siliev. His plus minus was a plus 21. Werenski was a minus 9 at the moment. Perek was a minus 11. So I figured we needed to move the two of them. And Simashev was a plus 19. Hopefully the plus minuses will help there. Hopefully they'll help each other out, mark each other out. Olsen, let's hope he keeps playing better. Hopefully this Michelli, Doan, and Zegras line can pop off for us. I might even put, yeah, actually I might do that. I might put Fedorov back up because he's really been killing it for us and he's a lot younger. He's 20 years old, so hope he can keep growing here. I like these lines. Yzerman, Cooley, Keller, Fedorov, Zegras, and Doan up in there in that top six. I think that's going to be a good line for us. Hopefully they can start to produce here and we can actually start becoming that playoff team again, like I was saying that we are. Time to sim up January and see how we do. And after January, oh my goodness, we are 22, 21, and 5. We have 49 points. We are currently sitting 6 points out of a playoff spot. And I'm not entirely sure what to say about this team. Like, why are we doing so poorly? Looking at the stats here, Josh Doan with 41 points leads our team. He's an 87 overall. Clayton Keller has 35 and 48. Fedorov, he's an 86. He's our rookie here. He's putting up 34 points in 48 games. That's awesome to see. But for him to be our third leading scorer, for Yzerman to be behind him, that's crazy. He's still a minus 9. Zegras there with 28 points. We're paying the dude $12 million. Like, I was expecting more. This whole team, I'm just expecting a lot more. We have a lot more skill. We had a lot more, like, this team is way better than most of the teams that we've had so far throughout all this. I thought this was going to be the team that was going to bring us to a cup, and so far, I'm not really sure if this is it. Our goaltending, looking at the goaltending, it's not bad numbers. Olsen is a surprise this year. Olsen with a 919 and a 239, doing really, really well actually for just being a high starter. Eli Vinny, terrible start here, and he's not doing horrible lately. He's got a 0.9 now. Finally, he's back to it, but he still has a 3.21. That is a terrible goals against average, and I'm not really sure what to do about this team. We might have to sell at the deadline. I mean, it just depends on what happens here. If we can have a good February up to the deadline, we make playoffs, that's awesome. I really hope that's what happens, but if we don't, we're definitely gonna have to sell off some pieces here. Again, we're just gonna trade up to the deadline here and see where we are. We're either gonna be a playoff team or we're not. If we're a playoff team, I don't think we're buying again. It just depends on what's there. But if we aren't a playoff team, we're sitting where we're at, like where we are right now, we're just gonna sell and we're just gonna see what we can get for everything we have. And getting up here to the trade deadline, we are in 7th place here in the Central. We have 57 points. I don't think we're making playoffs here. I think we're going to be a seller here at the deadline. I think we're going to move on from Zegras, probably eat 50% of his deal and move him at the deadline. We're probably going to move a couple of these guys. We might even move on from Cooley. It just depends on what's out there. We're definitely going to be getting quite a few first-round picks. It seems like this is a pretty strong draft. So we might be doing like another retool, mini rebuild on the fly here and see what we could build for the future. Let's jump into the trade deadline here and let's see what we can grab. Top guys at the deadline: Anderson, McCann, Buchnevich, Pinto, Askarov, Doc, Stone, Kazumiko, Panarin, and O'Reilly. Trying to make a trade here for Dallas's first round pick. Trying to get Trevor Zegras over to him. Salary half retained for Dallas's first round pick. It's Tommy Milano. We'll see what they say. Trade's accepted. Making another trade here with the Bruins. We're getting their first round pick for Zach Werenski, 50% retained. Let's see what they say. Looks like they're saying yes to that. So trade's accepted. We'll take that. And I think that's all the trades we're going to make here. I think we're just going to move forward through the deadline. Those 2 trades that we made, we got 2 first round picks. I believe that's all we need to move forward through this rest of the season. Hopefully we don't do that well. Hopefully we just end up getting that better first round pick there for our own pick. And then those Boston and Ducks pick, I believe. Hopefully those picks turn out to be something good. So let's go ahead and sim through the rest of the season and see how we do. So now that we're at the deadline, we made a few of those trades. We have a few first round picks. Let's go ahead and see what those picks are going to end up being for us. Let's go ahead and sim through the season. So after simming through the rest of the regular season, we ended with a record of 31, 38, and 13, 75 points. We ended up 5th to last place in the NHL. Go look at the standings real quick. So we ended up 5th to last place in the NHL, so we will have a top 5 pick again this year, as well as the Boston pick, I believe, is in the top 10-ish. So we will have 2 top 10 picks this year in the NHL draft, which is amazing because this draft seems to be a little bit stacked. That's awesome for us. At least since we missed, it's in a good draft, so our pick will be good, and we kept our pick. Kind of excited for that. There's also a medium franchise player in this draft. Another thing to be excited about potentially, that if we can move up, we can get that. So let's go ahead and sim through. Let's get to the end of the season, and let's see if we can pick up something in the draft here. And the Carolina Hurricanes are the Stanley Cup champions this year, and the Hartford Wolfpack are the Calder Cup champions. I believe they beat us in the finals as well in there in the Calder Cup. Let's check out the awards real quick. Awards: Carolina Hurricanes Stanley Cup champions, President's Trophy to the Colorado Avalanche, Anaheim Ducks with the Campbell, and the Carolina Hurricanes obviously with the Prince of Wales. Look at the individual awards: McDavid with the Art Ross and the Hart, McCarr with his 4th straight James Norris, McDavid there with the Lady Byng, Calder goes to Benstrom from Seattle, Conn Smythe goes to Aho, Knight gets the Vezina, so he leaves us and goes to the Caps, ends up getting the Vezina. You know, it just seems like we can't catch a break here. Whenever we don't sign a goalie, they end up popping off for us. So let's really hope that Eli Vinny can pop off for us here now. Spencer Knight gets the Jennings as well. Phil Master goes to Allen. Jack Adams goes to the Columbus coach. Selke goes to Casper again. McDavid with Ted Lindsay. And then Maurice Richard goes to Matthews for the first time in this thing, I believe. AHL, let's look at the individual awards real quick. Just going to show them. And then for the team awards, Hartford taking away quite a few, it looked like there. Man, Hartford really had a good team. And then we were the other team there on the other side of the playoffs. So good to see their AHL team was still competitive there. Let's keep simming through and let's see what our picks are going to be here. Here's a look at what the picks are. We didn't move up. We did end up getting 5, and we end up getting 10. So we get 5 and 10, and then Dallas pick ends up being wherever they ended up in the playoffs. So 5 and 10 isn't horrible. We may end up trying to move up here with San Jose potentially. I don't know. We'll end up seeing what happens. I do end up wanting to try to see if we can get that medium franchise centerman. Looking at the retired players here: Roman Josi, Jamie Benn, Jeff Skinner, Sagan, Eberle, Tarasenko, Kadri. A couple big names. Goalies: Kemper, Allen. That's about it there. And we are now here at the NHL draft. Let's see what we can do here. Trying to make a trade here with the San Jose Sharks for their first overall pick. We're trying to trade Logan Cooley. He really hasn't developed for us. I believe if we trade him, we might be able to pick up another centerman here. He's down to an 85 overall. The first overall pick here for Logan Cooley in the 10th overall. Let's see what they say. Trade rejected. I'm even willing to throw on a second here for it. Let's see what they say. Trade rejected. What if I throw on that 17th, the Dallas pick? So Logan Cooley, the 1st, the 10th, trade rejected. I don't think we're going to be able to get this done. Going first overall, there was a medium franchise centerman. I tried to trade for him. We weren't able to pick him up. Going over here to pick number 5, which we were at. There's a centerman here. Jay Burke, medium elite. Last guaranteed centerman at least. That's a guaranteed medium elite. So we're going to pick him up here at number 5. He's a 78 overall, medium elite. I think it's a good pickup here in the first round for us here in year 6. Our 10th overall pick here from the Boston pick. We're picking up Austin Skinner here. Another medium elite. He's a 63 overall in the first round. He's a medium elite sniper. I think it's a decent pickup for us. So we're going to sim here to our 17th overall pick. And with that pick, I'm not sure who we're going to pick up here. Our scouts are saying either this left defenseman or this right and left defenseman. I'm not really sure who to pick up. I think we just take this guy then. Take the completely unknown. 64 medium top 4. I guess that's not terrible in the first round there. And with our 32nd pick here, we're going to be picking up Manny Robertson. Maybe it's one of the Robertson brothers. We're going to pick him up. Medium top 6 forward. That's not bad here in the second round. Here at pick 69, we're going to be picking up this right winger. He's supposed to be a low top 6 forward. We're going to see what he is. He's a low top 6 forward, 61 overall. Not bad here in the third round. Go ahead and sim to pick 74. At pick 74 here, I have another gem that our scouts think it's a guaranteed low top 6 forward. Do what he is. 60 overall, guaranteed low top 6 forward. Again, not bad here in the third round. Sim to pick 101. And there we have this Fitz. He's supposed to be a low elite. Let's see what he actually is. He's a low top 6 forward. Again, we're going to be loaded here with him, but we definitely need him. So I'm going to pick 133. So we missed out on that high goalie, but I don't think that's too bad. We're going to be picking up one of these guys here. Guaranteed low elite. Let's sim to pick 159. Nothing guaranteed. So we're going to take the guaranteed low elite. 165. Check a look at our pins. Nothing left. Best available. Our scouts are saying this Weller guy. We'll see what he is. BM top 9. Send to pick 170. Same thing. Let's just do best available. Scouts are saying this guy. And he's a low top 9. Send to pick 197. Best available. Guaranteed low elite here, actually. Let's pick him up. Low elite, 59 overall. There in the 7th round, not bad. I believe this is our last pick here. Let's see if we can... Yep, there's a guaranteed medium starter here. Let's go ahead and pick him up. 56 overall, guaranteed medium starter there in the 7th round. That's not terrible at all. Let's get through the rest of the draft here. I believe that's not a bad draft. We got a lot of players. We had a couple of medium elites there in the beginning. Quite a few low elites. And then quite a few medium top 6 forwards, which we definitely need in the system here. So overall, I didn't like that we ended up not making the playoffs this year, but I think that was a pretty successful draft if I had to say so myself. Getting into the re-sign phase here, Cole Eiserman wants a contract, but we're going to qualify him first. He wants a contract 1 year. Let's go. Let's see if he'll take 4 years, $8 million. 4 years, $8 million for him, I feel like isn't bad. Yurchek here wants an extension. We're going to qualify him as well. He wants to be here 5 years. 5 years, 6.3. 6.4. 5 years, 6.4 for Yurchek. Bocelli here needs a contract as well. He only wants, yeah, he wants 5 mil. I'll give you 2 years, 5 mil. Let's see, he says Duda here doesn't want an extension, but I'm going to qualify him anyways. We'll give him a 1 year deal. He wants 8 million. We're not going to give him $8 million, but we're going to qualify him there. Geeky doesn't want to extend. We're going to qualify him. Silyev, we're going to qualify. Rick, we're going to qualify. McBain, we're going to offer a contract to 1 year, 1.4. See what he says. Padinka, we're just going to RFA him. Janik, we're going to offer him a 1 year contract. Pitlick, same thing, 1 year contract. Lutz here, we're just going to qualify. Konyuch, we're going to give him... He's just not developing into anything, so I think we're just going to release him for now. Cooley here, we're going to offer him a contract, just a 1 year deal. I believe that's a 2 year deal, but oh well. Ratty here, same thing, we're going to offer him another 2 year deal. Burke, I think we're going to hold off signing him until maybe the end of the summer. Basin, we're just going to qualify. We're going to release this 7th D. Lane here, doesn't need a contract. Brennan, we're going to release. Morden, we're going to qualify. McCartney, we're going to release. A couple other guys that could be signed, but we're not. Levo here needs a contract, so we're going to sign him. There's entry-level deal. Bykov's one of our low elites, but we're going to sign to his entry-level deal. Another one of those low elites. Some more low elites that we have to sign, and they're going to go away. Bartley here, we're going to qualify. So our AHL team here is going to be loaded with some of these low elites here. That's awesome to see as well. Let's see if a couple of them are going to sign. And looking at our goalies, Vinny, Olsen, and Thornton, they're all RFAs, so we're going to qualify them all. Olsen here, what do you want? He wants a long-term deal here. Same here with Vinny. We're going to have some tough decisions here to make because we also have Donovan coming through the system and Hunwick here that's close to be coming through the system. So we're going to have to make some tough decisions here in net as well. So after making all those signings, we're going to swim through a few days and see who signs and who doesn't. Cooley signs with us. Bocelli signs with us. Actually, he rejects. Sorry, he rejects. McBain rejects. Yurnix signs with us. Janik rejects. Ratty renews. Eiserman renews. Pitlick rejects. Eakin rejoins, Levo joins, Bykov, all these low elites I believe are signing with us. Michelli, I'm going to offer him up one more time, $5 million, 1-year deal. We'll see what he says. McBain, I'm going to offer the same contract, 1 year, 1.4. We'll see what he says. And McBain doesn't sign again. Michelli doesn't sign as well. So I believe we're going to move on from McBain. Michelli, we might sign him for a little bit more. I may offer him just a little bit more money. If he wants just too much money, I'm definitely not going to sign him. Michelli here, I'll give him 5.1 for 1 year. We'll see what he says. If he really bugging over $0.1 million, I really hope that's not all he's going to take to get that over the deal. But we'll see what he says here. 5.1 for 1 year for Michelli. We'll see what he says. And Michelli does not sign with us, so I was thinking it was going to cost us a little bit more than that. One more time here, 5.2 for 1 year for Michelli. We'll see what he says. Michelli says no to that as well, so we're going to see what he says in free agency here. I think I may test him in free agency. He really hasn't grown as much as I thought he would here in Utah, so it may be time to move on from Michelli. A couple other guys signed with us, and I believe we're going to move into free agency here. Another free agent signs with us, and we are now into the free agency period, so let's see who's out there. Grab another prospect here. Got Hunwick, medium elite. He's a goaltender. He's 20 years old, 65 overall. We're going to offer him his contract. See what he says. Finney here wants 3.6 for 1 year. I'll give him 3.5 for 1 year and see what he says. As well as Olsen here, he needs a contract. He wants a 3-year deal for $4 million. How about 3-year deal at 3.7 for you? I think that would be a pretty stellar deal. Another guy we're going to sign here is Urov. He's another medium elite. He's a right winger here. He's 81 overall at 25. He wants 1.5 million for 1 year. Yeah, I'll offer him that. I'm not really sure why Fedotov here is not signed. I believe he's our prospect, so we're going to bring him back here. He wants $3 million. So I'll bring him in $3 million for 2 years. Let's see what he says. Other guy we're going to bring in here is Capo Caco. Again, New York Ranger fan. Got to bring him in here. 85 overall. He's 28 years old now. He wants $3.2 million for 2 years. I want to give him $3 million for 1 year. We'll see what he says. So I believe after those trades, we're going to go ahead and send him up here to the next season. I think the rest of our RFAs are going to sign with us, or if they get qualified, we'll end up just signing them anyways. Like I said, let's go ahead and send him up here to next season. Hunwick signs, Gastrin signs, Urov signs. Kako goes with the contender. Oh my goodness. He goes with the Colorado Avalanche. Olsen signs with us. Vinny signs with us. Fedotov signs with us. So a couple good signings there. I think we may need to go back and try to sign another third line player, potentially to try to replace Kako now. So since we missed out on Capo Caco, I'm going to pick up JJ Paterka here. I think he's a good replacement. He's an 85 overall as well. He wants 3.9 for 1 year. We'll offer him 3.6 for, actually we'll offer him 3.7 for 1 year. Make sure he signs. I think that's going to be a good signing for us. And Paterka signed. So again, I think that's another good signing for this team going into year 7. The Sabres have Matthew Savoy here on the block. He's still an RFA. He's still unsigned. Medium elite. He's a 90 overall. He had 60 points last year. Connor Geeky, he's unsigned for us. He makes $1.4 million last year. He's still a high top 6, 25 years old. Also giving away Skinner here. We have too many left wingers in our system, and I think it's about time that we move on from them. I think Geeky and Skinner, if they can give us the Savoy, which is our #1 center of the future, I think that's well worth it. Let's see what they say. Trade rejected. I didn't think they would say yes to that right off the bat. I definitely do think that's going to be worth trying to throw something else in. So I'm also going to throw in this prospect here. Another defenseman. Lizen, Skinner, Geeky for Savoy. Let's see what they say. Trade rejected. We can't afford to sign the RFA player that you were sending our way. Perhaps if we free up more cap space on our end, we can make this work. So they're willing to take it. They just need cap space to sign the guy. Got it. Let's see if they have anybody on the block that has a lot of money maybe. I guess Hartman, would that take cap space from them? I believe it does. Then we just trade him away for a pick. Let's try to see what they say here. I got Connor Geeky, Skinner, and Lizen on our side for Savoy and Hartman. Hartman's there just for the money and for the extra roster spot. I think this is well worth it. Geeky's a high top 6 forward. That's a center, and I think he's been good for us. If he was playing 3rd, 4th line the entire time, we already have a couple guys that can do that. Skinner, we already have too many guys that are on left wing. And Lizen here, we have so many top 4 defensemen. The surplus, I think bringing in a guy like Savoy is worth it. Let's see what they say. Trade rejected, even though they just said that it was worth it. Oh, that's so annoying. We're going to add a 4th on here. So Geeky, Skinner, Lizen, and a 4th for Savoy and Hartman. Let's see what they say. Trade's accepted. I think that's a heck of a trade for this team. I think we just got a lot better. So after trading for Savoy, it's time to offer him a contract here. He wants 9.25 for 2 years. So I'm going to offer him $9 million for 2 years. We'll see what he says. Badinka finally wants his contract here. We're going to offer him $1 million for 3 years. We'll see what he says. Siliev and Perek here also need contracts. We're going to offer them both contracts here. 3 years, $2.2 million for Siliev here. To offer him that. Perek here also needs a contract. $3 million. He wants $3 million. Yeah. We'll give him 2.9 for 3 years. I think that's another good contract for us. And then the last thing we're missing is Duda here. So I think we're going to go ahead and keep Simmon through and see if Duda actually signs the RFA or if we're going to have to offer him a contract. But either way, I think we're just going to keep Simmon through. And Siliev signs with us. Parquet signs with us. Badinka signs with us. So all good to see. We're going to keep simming here and see who else signs. Matthew Savoy signs. Another good deal for us. $9 million for the next 2 years for our first line center of the future. I think that's an awesome deal. And Duba ended up just signing his RFA offer. So that's awesome to see as well. A pretty cheap contract for him for another year. Let's hope he develops. If he develops, cool. I end up seeing the reason to pay him the money, but I didn't see a reason to pay an 85 overall, $7 million. Let's see what we can do here going into the rest of the year, and let's see what the team looks like here going into year 7. Quick look at the lineup going here to year 7. So in the first line now we have Cole Iserman there with Savoy and Fedorov there getting a +3 bonus. Doan with Cooley and Keller. Down the second line now getting a +5. Fedotov, Gastrin, and Gunther. Gastrin's up to an 84 now, which is awesome to see. Gunther lost his low franchise. He's now a top 6 forward low. Not really sure what he's going to turn into here. He's 26 though. Lecker-Mackey with Urov and Peterka. We do have a couple guys scratched here. We have Milano and Hartman, so we'll probably move on for them just because they are eating cap. Looking at the defense, Urek and Duda are still rocking the first pair. Perek and Siliev on the second, and Badinka and Simishev on the third. And look at the goalies. Vinny is up to an 88 overall now, so I'm really excited to see what he can do this season. Hopefully he'll rebound after last year. Olsen is still at 85, so awesome to see. And we have both of them for about $6 million. Again, I think that's great money spent on goaltending. That's not really that much for pretty stellar goaltending. Looking at the AHL lineup, Thornton's still killing it in the AHL. Cavalo backing him up. That's that high starter that potentially may, come in and steal the show there from our other goalie. But tying in there, I think it's time to pick him up. I don't know what we're going to do. We have a pretty solid lineup right now, so he might stick in the AHL for a little bit longer. And then this is what the team's looking like. Lane's up to a 78. Luanski's up to a 80. Cooley's at a 79. Ratty, Mons, Buying, Adam, Lutz, Villamines, Nielsen, and Bartley. And on defense, Vaneson, Morden, Lino, Anderson, Skogalov, and Eakin. A lot of our prospects there have grown, so a lot of our defensive prospects have grown up, and we don't have many in the system anymore. But besides that, our offense is looking pretty stellar. We have a couple of guys that are still growing in the system here. So this team right here, though, if this team doesn't do damage, I'm not really sure what else to do. This is a all-star team, in my opinion. You have guys like Iserman. That first line is just stacked. Then you have Doan, Cooley, Keller on the second, and then coming after them, you have Gunther, Gastrin, and Fedotov. And even on the third, you have Peterka and Lecker-Mackey. And then Daniel Urov, I don't know if you guys know, but he's this medium elite, so he may even grow as well. I'm really excited to see how this team does, especially with Vinny backing him up. I think this is going to be a really exciting year in 7. So I'm really excited to see what happens. Let's jump into it, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the content, make sure you hit that bell and subscribe so you know every time we drop a video here on the channel. Also, make sure you hit our other channels at SellyHard, at Twitch, Instagram, and X for all our up-to-date content on our other platforms. We'll catch you next time, and peace.